Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Today, we're going to kind of do a bit of a roundup about what's going on in the U.S. Soccer Federation world. And it isn't really pretty, if we're being honest. I've got this up here. This is one of the good things that U.S. Soccer is doing. They've done videos on these U.S. men's national team players / potential players, I guess is what you'd say, because we don't have a coach. More on that in a minute. But it kind of tells their backstories, and it's really interesting. Like, I learned stuff about every single one of these players that I had no idea about. Really well done from a marketing standpoint. They've done a very similar thing on the U.S. women's side with The Journey, talking about, the things going on with some of the U.S. women's national team members in the build-up to the 2019 World Cup. Therein lies my overarching concern. It seems U.S. Soccer is better at marketing than it is at being a federation, which is, kind of in the title of their organization. So, and even honestly, even if you think about that, they haven't been the best at that. I've got a video that I'll throw up here that I did last year where there were like glaring editorial mistakes on the website. Not good. They went 2 months here. We talked about this earlier this year. March 27th to May 24th. Nothing on the En Espanol version of ussoccer.com. You go 2 months without posting a single thing, which, if you look in comparison to, the rest of the site, I mean, there's multiple things a day sometimes, right? And lots more updates. So the fact that that went 2 months without being updated, you could argue is, okay, wait, maybe we're not as good at marketing as we are, anything else, and we're not good at anything else, so that's good, right? So that's kind of where we're at. So let me talk about some of the issues we've got. I've had people leave comments saying, hey, GHG, can you give us your thoughts on, USA drawing France before the World Cup? Great. Like, good for the lads that we sent a group of youngsters essentially out. Some of these guys right here, and they got a 1-1 draw. Okay, that's like, if you go like, wow, they drew with the World Cup winners like right before the World Cup. That's amazing. But we also lost to Ireland 2-1. And it wasn't actually in the World Cup. It wasn't a competitive game. Would France have done something different? Would they have had a different right back? Or was that game the reason that they had Pavard come in at right back during the World Cup? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It was a tune-up. It was a friendly. So it wasn't like they were like, we have to win this game. We'll do anything. A good result for sure. I'm not trying to take anything away from the squad. Good for them. But they lost to Ireland 2-1. So you kind of have to like taper your expectations just a little bit. I've had people ask me, like, can you review all the different coaching options? Like, yeah, but like that, it's a pretty wide pool because U.S. Soccer and Ernie Stewart, the new GM, whose job title is very, not title, but job description is very vague, and we don't know what's actually going on. I mean, yeah, but most likely we're going to hire the Columbus Crew manager when they move to Austin. I mean, sorry, that news came out yesterday. Austin voted 7-4 to approve the stadium or whatever. You got to think Columbus Crew's moving. U.S. Soccer apparently wants an MLS coach because we believe in, high quality. And so that's what's going to happen. I could be wrong. I'd love to be completely surprised by Ernie Stewart. He goes out and gets like a monster head coach. But it doesn't look to be like we're heading in that direction, really. I can't believe it's August 16th and we still don't have someone in charge of the U.S. men's national team. But wait, there's more. There are coaching vacancies all throughout U.S. soccer. That's good. That's good. So this is a very interesting article. I'll link to it in the description from Soccer America Daily. Great publication. You only get a certain number of, I want to say you only get a certain number of free views before you kind of have to subscribe, which is totally fair. Hiring freeze has made for a difficult year on the U.S. men's side. So Tab Ramos, who at one point people thought might be kind of in line or positioning to get the head coach job for the U.S. men's national team, or maybe they offered it to him as on like a temporary basis, and he said, I don't want it on a temporary basis or an interim basis. I want to be the guy. He's the U.S. U20 national team coach and is U.S. Soccer's youth technical director. So let's look at the gaps that we have. John Hackworth left his U17 men's national team post. Okay. Brad Friedel left last November. What is it? 10 months ago? To take over the New England Revolution. He left the U19s. They still haven't filled that. I mean, it shouldn't surprise us, right? We haven't filled the senior team, which was also October, November, right? The U18s, yep, lost that coach as well. So what's that? That's caused lots of like, it kind of walks through all the juggling that has to go on. Like, well, this guy's covering for this team, but having a hiring freeze in place has made for a difficult year. Well, yeah. Now you can argue, right? Like, okay, maybe we are cleaning out the closet of all the skeletons. I'm not saying those guys did bad jobs by any means. They obviously, I mean, they've gone on to get professional gigs. It's like, fair, right? So I'm not saying that, but is there a change from, does U.S. Soccer's hierarchy, like high up the chain, bringing in Ernie Stewart, they're like, listen, we're gonna bring in a completely new system. We're gonna bring in new coaches. We're gonna bring in a new manager and all that kind of stuff. Okay, it's August. It's August 16th. World Cup's over. It's been over. We should probably get some hiring done. That'd make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? It kind of feels like we thought we had someone lined up and then they weren't interested, or they got a better offer or something like that. Who knows, right? Like Juan Carlos Osorio's name has been thrown around, but the fact, I mean, you could argue hiring freeze makes sense. Like let's get the new GM in place and then fill everything else out because we have to get a technical director in as well. But the fact that lots of people are leaving their posts, you got Tab Ramos sitting there going like, I'm trying to like juggle all this with some help. Again, you've got, Clint P and Dave Van den Berg kind of helping out. Like it's still not good to go, wait a minute, let's look at U.S. Soccer's hierarchy. So we've got no senior team coach. We have no U17, U19, and U18 coach. That's good. That's good. On the flip side, let's look at the U.S. U20s. They were in the World Cup, and they got knocked out the group stage, which is good. Behind Spain and Japan on 4 points, 1-1 and 1. This might be looking too much into it. Completely fair. But knocked out at the group stage of the U20 Women's World Cup, when U.S. women in general have historically dominated the sport, is a really bad indicator. Those U20s become your U23 Olympic team, become your senior team, right? Okay, in 2016, we got knocked out of the semifinals, so got past the group stage, got to the quarterfinals, got to the semifinals, knocked out by North Korea. 2014, knocked out in the quarterfinals on penalties to North Korea. Not dominating performances. So what that tells me, U.S. women's program isn't keeping up. Like, you have to make that conclusion, right? Like, if you look at the women's game, definitely smaller, definitely, like, in comparison to men's, just got started, right? And so the U.S. women have dominated that for a long time, or at least been really highly competitive pretty much at all levels. And the fact that the last 3 competitions, only one time getting to the semifinal and getting knocked out there, I mean, again, losing to the eventual winner, so fair play, I suppose. It just isn't the best look. If this was the only thing going on with U.S. Soccer, you'd be like, okay, I mean, yeah, we got some work to do. But when you go back to the mid side, lots of vacancies, nobody filling those vacancies, a new GM with a job description that is kind of like, what does Ernie Stewart do? Does he really do anything? Or is he just like papering, like is the role there to paper over and give someone else to blame if U.S. men don't do well? What is happening? Okay, let's add one more thing to it. USSoccerVoices.com. They just tweeted this out. US Soccer did. Your voice matters. Sign up for US Soccer Voices and give your input on all aspects of the federation. So when you're reading through this, you're thinking, my voice matters. I can sign up. I can give input. That's what the tweet says. That's exactly what the tweet says. Okay, so let's click on it. Thank you for your interest in US Soccer Voices. Blah, 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 blah. To get started, click next. Okay, you have to give your birthday. I'm not going to go through all this with you, but you give your birthday, You fill out all this information, and then it says, we'll let you know if you're going to be selected to give your opinion. Your voice matters. Sign up for US Soccer Voices and give your input. Not sign up for US Soccer Voices and you may be selected, hand-selected by people who probably in the questionnaire think we're doing a good job, and you might give your opinion. That is not what that says. And that's what this guy says down here, Paul Owen. Wait, I just went through a questionnaire, gave a load of personal data, and was then told to wait and see if I've been selected? I don't understand. This is not very honest. US Soccer, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's all I have to say. I'm just kind of irritated at US Soccer at this point. And maybe before the end of 2018, we'll know who our new manager is. They've extended Dave Sarachan, primarily because we didn't have anybody else. And it's not like we can, hey, Tab, you want to come take over? Oh, sorry, you're running all the other, youth men's teams because everyone else has left. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense to extend Dave even, and it's in his contract, right? Essentially, if we find somebody, we can, hey, Dave, thanks, man. But we got to have somebody in place because we do have games coming up in September. So let me know what you think about all this and the mess that US Soccer is in. And I'm going to go drink my coffee and hopefully have a better day. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. I'm going to be doing more US Soccer videos. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell so you get notified when a new video comes out. Because apparently that's how YouTube works now. Have a good one.